All right, hello everyone. We are here for Strength 30. We're going to be using our long resistance bands, so light, medium, heavy, whatever works best for you. And we're going to start all the way down onto the floor. So come on down with your band close by. And we are going to work on our strength. Such a good thing for us to do. Muscles and bones, keeping our bodies strong. Before we get started, take a moment just to focus in. Long, deep breath. Feels so good just to pause for a moment and take a long, deep breath. All right, so let your arms come onto the ground directly away from the shoulders with the palms facing up toward the ceiling. And we'll briefly move the knees right and left. Let's just get a little bit of warm-up movement going in the hips and the low back. And back to center. And extend the right foot up toward the ceiling and ankle circles. Reverse. Point the toes toward the ceiling, straighten the leg, contract your leg muscles, and slow motion, lower that leg all the way straight down to the ground. Once it's down, bend up the knee so both knees are bent, both feet back onto the ground, our start position, and then left leg up. Straighten into the leg, starting to feel a stretch, and into the ankle circles. Reverse direction. Point the toes toward the ceiling, straighten the leg, contract your leg muscles, slow motion, lower that leg all the way down. Once your leg touches the floor, straighten out both legs, sweep your arms behind your head, full body stretch, and then bend up your knees, wrap your arms around your legs and squeeze in. And then let your feet come onto the ground with your knees still bent and your feet hip width apart. You have to kind of guess that, right? It's really hard to see that directly. So just guess your feet about hip width apart, 5 inches or so of space, arms next to your sides. We're setting up for bridge. Roll the shoulder blades down the back and slowly take your first bridge, lifting your hips up. Get that good contraction of the glutes at the top and roll it back down. So nice and easy at first. Couple more of these basic bridges. Just that little pause at the top, give you time for the contraction. And finishing that third one all the way back down. This time, feet all the way together. Feet and knees together as best as you can. If your legs don't come all the way together, you can always put a yoga block in between your legs to make sure that your legs are squeezing up against either each other or squeezing against the block. Then we're ready to rise back up and see if you can keep your legs together even though we've lifted the bridge up. And then lower back down. Nice and slow, rise up, squeeze your legs together, lower back down. Again, whatever it is for you, the legs may not go all the way together, especially as we lift up, but just squeeze the legs toward each other. And then release all the way back down. Now we're going to keep the legs together, same start position, bridge the hips up, and this time the right foot extends up toward the ceiling, and then we're going to pulse the hips down and up. Little pulses, hips down and up, little pulses. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the foot, lower the hips. We're all the way back to the start. Legs together, adjust if you need to. Rising the hips up into a bridge. Left foot up toward the ceiling. Activate the leg and pulses down and up. You're not touching all the way down. It's maybe feels like about a half bridge. 3 more. Get a nice lift. 3, 2, and 1. Lower the feet and lower the hips all the way back down. Keep the feet close together. Open the knees out into butterfly stretch. With the butterfly position, push the soles of the feet hard together. Feel those inner leg muscles contracting, and your glutes will contract here as well. Then slowly draw the knees together. Your feet will separate so that or not separate, but the soles of the feet back to the ground. And then extend both feet up toward the ceiling without your hands helping. So just your legs on their own. Now, slow motion, bend the knees until your feet are back to the ground. Open the knees, bring the feet together, push the soles of the feet into each other. Get that hard contraction, push a little harder this time. Draw the legs back together. Extend your feet up toward the ceiling. And then release all the way back down, third and final time. Open the knees, butterfly position, push the soles of the feet together hard. Hard, hard, hard. Inner legs contracting, glutes contracting. Push hard, hard, hard. And then draw the knees together and extend the feet up toward the ceiling. Pull the toes down toward the kneecaps to give you a little more of a stretch while we're in this position. Now point the toes toward the ceiling, and you have your option here. You can bend the knees, or if you'd like more challenge, keep the legs a little straighter, but do push the low back into the ground as you lower your legs down to the floor. Once the legs are all the way down, sweep your arms behind your head. Give yourself that same full stretch. Bend up your knees, wrap the arms around the legs, and squeeze in. Once again, extend your feet up toward the ceiling. Let your hands come onto the ground. Just like you did a moment ago, you'll either bend the knees if you need to, or keep the legs straight, push the low back into the ground, and slowly sweep the legs all the way down, slowly in control. Once you're all the way down, bend up your knees with your feet on the ground. Breath in and breath out. Bring your right foot on top of the left knee and reach your arms out directly away from the shoulders. Push those arms down into the ground. Now lift your left foot off the ground. We're not using any hands or arms to help. The left foot is lifted off the ground. You're going to try to drive your legs toward your body with the strength of your core and your hips. Now tap the left heel only back to the ground. And then lift, drive the legs toward your belly, and tap the heel back down. 3 more. Drive it up and down. Twice more. And release both feet to the ground. Left foot up onto the right knee. And begin. Right foot lifts. Press the legs toward your body as best as you can. Tap the right heel back down. Lift, press in, and back down 3 more times. Once you finish the third one, bring both feet back to the ground. Stretch out your legs. Sweep your arms behind your head, full stretch. Bend up your knees, wrap the arms around your legs, squeeze in. Bring your arms onto the ground, away from the shoulders. Extend your feet up toward the ceiling. Point your toes toward the ceiling. Activate your leg muscles. That means you're contracting leg muscles tight. Open the legs wide into straddle. Try to lengthen your legs as best as you can while you're in the straddle. Slowly draw your legs back together. The legs are as straight as you can, whatever that is for you. Open the legs, straddle. Try to keep the legs lengthened as you bring them back together. And one last time. Open out. Bring it in. Bend the knees and land your feet onto the ground. Breath in And breath out. All right, everybody, nicely done so far. Grab your band, please. And we're going to, you might have to sit up for this actually. We're going to wrap the band around the toes of the right foot. And this is specific. It's not the foot itself. It's actually wrapping it over the tops of the toes. So if you want to take a look, I'll try to show this to you. It's right over the top of the toes. And you'll feel this once you come down onto the ground and look up at your foot. It's not underneath the foot. It's not around the ankle. The toes are literally covered up. Now from here, bring your elbows down onto the ground, and we're going to lower the foot toward the ground. Or sorry, I did that wrong. The hands are all the way to the ground. I'm going to actually adjust my band just a little. Your hands and arms are all the way down onto the ground. Now let your knee bend and your leg straightens and bends. So if you need the visual, you can look up here. Arms all the way on the ground. Leg starts bent. Feel the resistance. Press the leg straight and lower down. So notice that the band around the toes is keeping it nicely in place. You're going to feel this in your quads. And you do get some arm strength work because you're keeping the band pinned to the ground. Smooth this out. Try to get 5 more if you can. And then release, we'll switch sides. Now, you might be able to just slip the other foot, the toes of the other foot into the band, or you can sit back up and get that position with that band over the toes correct. Then whenever you're ready, bend the knee. The arms are on the ground. And then remember, the resistance happens as you straighten the leg up toward the ceiling. You know this, of course, if you don't have enough resistance, walk your hands a little higher up the band toward the foot while the arms are still on the ground. Slow, steady breathing. Can you do 5 more? All right, so good. Release, and this time, now the band goes back in the right foot, but now it's underneath the foot. We're not on the toes, and it matters where the band is. So make sure you get the band all the way underneath the foot. Now this time the arms are different too. The arms go straight up toward the ceiling like mine are here. So the arms are up, but press the shoulder blades down into the ground. Now the action is different. It's opposite. So the knee bends. The resistance happens as the foot comes toward the ground, and you straighten it back out. Now, one key to this is don't let the arms pull forward. So keep the arms in place as you bend the knee and curl the foot toward the glute. You should feel this in the hamstring. As always, if you don't have enough resistance, I'm going to wrap the band around my hand to give me a little more resistance. And you're really having to stabilize the shoulder joints. Don't let those arms come forward. You can even pull the arms back a little more behind your head if you feel like you don't quite have enough resistance. Let's try for 5 more. Okay, excellent. Slip the other foot into the band. I'm going to sit up and adjust my band. Didn't quite have it in the right position. Ideally, we'd like to have the full width of the band around the foot. That's what I had to adjust. All right, same position, arms up. Wrap the band as needed. Begin those curls. Now, you may notice that the movement isn't super smooth. If your muscles aren't really used to this, I find this anyway, the movement is kind of all over the place. So I'm trying to smooth it out as much as possible. Of course, you feel the resistance as you pull the band down, but then you're resisting as you come up. Don't let the band snap the leg back up to the start. Control it going up, power it going down. Control it up, power it down. Let's try for 5 more. All right, very good. All right, we are going to repeat those two. So let's do second set. Band back around the toes of the right foot. Band his arms are down on the ground. We bend the knee to start. And then the challenge point comes from the leg lifting against the toes. Slow and steady. Get the number of repetitions that you need. Maybe about 5 more if you can. Good. Whenever you're ready, switch. Toes of the left foot. The other leg has to straighten out, otherwise it'll be in the way. Start from the bent position. Find your resistance there and then push against the resistance. Five more if you can. All right. Once you're done, set that band aside, work yourself up. Nice work, everybody. Come on up, and we'll come all the way to standing. So great little bit of work there for the legs. Just take note, the bridges primarily worked the glutes, other muscles surrounding, of course, but primarily a glute exercise. Then the other band exercises, hamstrings and quads. So we got a lot of great leg work done there. We're switching our focus to the upper body. So grab that band. And we're going to begin with our overhead press, single arm at a time. So the band is going to go to the inside of your foot. Let's start. I'm starting with the left side. You can do whichever one you want. But make sure the band is to the inside of the foot like this, not to the, it doesn't wrap around the outside. And also, the band is to the inside of the elbow. So inside foot, inside elbow. That way the band is going to stay straight. The other foot is going to step back. Now we're ready to press up. Now I want you to check. Assuming the shoulder is okay, we want to have a full extension, and you might need to lengthen that band out just a ½ inch or so. Make sure you can go all the way up and then control it down. Pressing up and down. If it's too easy, of course, move the hand down a bit. Now we're always stabilizing. So every muscle in the body is actually working in some way. Belly pulled in, contract the glutes, hold yourself still, and isolate the movement for the shoulder. If at any point in time it gets shaky, it gets where you lose form, where you're grimacing, that means it's time to stop or give yourself a little more resistance or even switch to an easier band. I'm going to do 5 more. Okay, excellent. With these bands, you get to where you realize that you've gotten the benefit, right? The last couple or 3 or 4 get hard. That's where we want that to be. Okay, we'll switch sides, inside of your other foot and inside of your other arm. Now, one of the little quick alignment cue, the elbow tends to go out, especially if we have too much resistance. So get the right resistance, pull the elbow in, try to keep it at least relatively forward. It might stick out a little bit, and if there's shoulder tightness, especially, but just try to, relatively speaking, keep the elbow from winging too much to the outside. Slow and steady, power it up, control it down. I think I'm needing about 5 more. You're deciding how many reps you need. All right. Our next exercise is going to be our simple bicep curls. So we're going to step on the band with both feet. And we'll probably have to wrap the band, which will actually help with our handhold. And we're going to face the palms toward each other. Curls oftentimes are done with the palms facing forward, and that is okay to do that. Oftentimes I find that the shoulders aren't quite as happy that way, and we get just as much benefit by facing the palms toward each other. Stabilize your body, stand tall. Weight comes up to the shoulders, and I have just a little too much resistance. So I'm going to give myself a little more band length. You make your adjustments. Now, as always, we know, as we've discussed before, that handles in some cases do make bands easier, but they make it more complicated in other ways. So a little bit of give and take there. This one definitely, handles would be helpful. If it feels a little awkward in your hands, you have to kind of work with that. And some people do use handles. I just feel like that, generally speaking, we're better off without them most of the time in order to get the right amount of resistance. Remember to stand tall, and this isolates the arm muscles. Couple more. All right, good. We're going to go right into our tricep press. The position will be the same with the feet around the band. I'm going to turn, and the position here with the body is we need to be in our little squatting position. So your legs are going to hold you steady. The elbows are next to the ribs, and you push back in this position here. So if you want to watch for just a second, if you don't remember this one, elbows are going to stay still. Don't let the elbows lift. It's just a bending and straightening, okay? So you want to feel plenty of resistance. When the arm is straight, hold there for an instant, and then do your next rep. Hold, and then bend. Hold, and then bend. All right, I think that's about enough for me anyway. All right, we're going to do one more, then we're going to repeat, and then we'll be done. The band is going to go behind your back for this one and underneath the arms. So behind the back, kind of right across the shoulder blades. And then we're going to need to walk the hands in fairly close to the ribs. So I'm going to take my hands and just move them up the band slightly because we have quite a bit of strength in this position. So I want the hands up on the band a bit, and then we're just simply pressing forward and back. And this one's really nice because it's so easy to stabilize that band to anchor it around your back. Make sure that your pelvis isn't moving. Shoulders stay down the back. We're not lifting the shoulders up toward the ears. I'm going to get in about 5 more. All right. Good work, everybody. Let's get round 2, upper body exercises. Then we're done. Back to the overhead press. Let's jump right into it. We know what to do. I'm going to kind of clip through it on the second round. Ready? Nice and stable. Get that band in the right position. Inside foot, inside arm, pressing up. Whenever you're ready, we switch sides. Inside, inside. Other foot steps back. We are ready. Okay, that is it. And we are ready for our biceps and triceps. We'll step on the band with both feet. Standing tall, give yourself enough band so that your fist can come up to the shoulders. Elbows stay tucked in close. I didn't mention it, but the band is to the inside of the arms. Outside of the feet, of course, because we're stepping on the band with both feet, but inside of the arms. This is a bicep exercise, but you should be able to feel that your forearms are getting lots of work as well, and that is so important. Couple more. And we'll go right to the tricep. That's the one where we need that different body position. So we bend the knees, set the hips back into the semi-squat. You're going to hold that position. Elbows stay next to the ribs, extend, and then bend. Great. Remove the band from underneath your feet when you're ready. And our last one already, we will get that last chest press. Band behind the back and underneath the arms. Walk the hands in. Now, I didn't mention it last time, but you actually could offset your feet. That will make you just feel a little more stable in this exercise. You might want to try it, or if you do prefer feet together, that is okay as well. The main thing, of course, is that we're just standing tall, holding the body very still. Feel that resistance. Feel your muscles and your bones working. Right. So good, everybody. Set the band down. Let's shake out the arms and the shoulders. Move the head and neck around. I hope your muscles and bones feel like they got a good workout today. Mine certainly do. So good for us. Took 30 minutes and we worked every muscle in the body, not everyone, but most of them. And it was a great overall body workout. Hope you enjoyed it. I look forward to seeing you next time, everyone. Take care. Bye for now.